In this show, we're recapping the 2022 NAB Show. Was it all that this year? Well, we're going to talk about that coming up on this episode of BTS Raw Chats.
This is BTS Raw Chats. BTS Raw Chats. Where real media creators chat after hours. We don't give away raw files. We give you the raw, behind-the-scenes chatter of the photo and video production world. The Raw Chat starts now.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of BTS Raw Chats. I am Dave, aka Indie Craze, and joining me in this room right now, Sherry.
Hey, what's up? You always introduce me like that. And I'm
Yes.
like, look around for like, who is he talking about?
Oh, it's me.
Yeah, that's me.
If you don't know who we are real media creators talking about what really happens within the production industry. We want this show to help others out there deal with the day-to-day things that really happen behind the scenes. So today we're going to be talking about the 2022 NAB Show. Sherry, do you know what we're talking about?
Yes, the 2022 NABs. Who doesn't know what that is?
Wrong! Well, obviously, you don't know what the NAB Show, and that's okay. I will explain it to you. The NAB Show is the National Associations of Broadcast. So think of this, CES. The CES show, all the latest tech. This is where videographers, photographers, anything in our industry, as far as production is, this is the Mecca show in Las Vegas.
Okay, it's the voice for the nation's radio and television broadcasters.
Oh, correction. Thank you for correcting me.
You're welcome.
But today we're going to be talking about, was it worth it this year? And I know that you don't know much of what happened with the show this year, but I will elaborate on some of the latest tech that has come down the pipeline and what to really look for.
Okay.
So, quick question. What do you look for in any new equipment coming down the pipeline?
Functionality.
Oh, very simple. Very simple answer there.
Well, you have to remember, even though we are as one, you're still video and I'm still photo. It's like what I look for, you look for a lot of like different things for the type of work that you do. Mm-hmm. Me, I mean, as far as photography, I mean, it kind of is. It's kind of a gray area. Like you need a lot more specs and like all kinds of stuff to do, all kinds of cool B-roll and like smooth motion.
Right.
I mean, I just need like good high quality images.
But nowadays, all that is blended into one giant thing.
Yeah.
Now everybody is a videographer and a photographer now. You
Yeah,
know?
that's true.
Auto.
Yeah, never.
Yeah, exactly. But this year's show was more talking about the cloud-based services. Mm-hmm. I'm going to talk about 3 products that came out that caught my eye. But one of the main things was the cloud-based service was the new Atomos service, and also Blackmagic Design came out with a cloud-based service. So the concept is this. Basically, imagine you're out on the field and you're recording a commercial or movie or anything that you're recording on the field. This adapter that comes with the Atomos or Blackmagic's cloud-based service, you could literally be recording, and when you stop recording, it automatically uploads that file to the cloud. And your editor, who is somewhere, anywhere, it could be in the other room or in the other side of the world, they automatically get that file immediately. Within seconds after it's being recorded. So it eliminates transferrings as of compressing the files and getting what we used to call an offline editing. Basically, it's so weird how history works. History, unfortunately and fortunately, repeats itself. When we talk about offline editing, is a compressed file that works well with your computer. I don't think we'll ever get out of that situation where we have this offline system, because technology is kind of like running behind itself, if that makes sense. For example, I don't know anybody right now that is editing 12K footage and saying this is the greatest thing.
My computer would like legit blow up.
And by the way, I did do a production where I worked with the Blackmagic camera, 12K camera. And I have gotten that file structure back. And let me tell you, it will explode your computer.
Yeah.
And I just say to myself, why in God's green earth would I be editing 12K footage where the customer has like bifocal glasses? so he or she won't even notice the difference.
But like, what would you use it for anyway? A commercial? Like, why would you need 12K footage unless you're doing like a big Hollywood movie production?
That's a great question.
And you're not.
That's a great question. Down the line, when digital came to pass, remember when Star Wars Episode 1, the first camera that came in.
I don't remember Episode 1.
She probably didn't watch it at all, but that's okay.
I did.
What you probably didn't know was that was the first film that was shot with a 4K camera.
Oh, really?
One of the first, yes. Yeah. But really, at the end of the day, it doesn't make a difference because there wasn't, shot with 4K.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, nobody cares. The funny part is, it's like 2 or 3 years ago, I have gone to an NAB show.
You did?
And let me tell you this. It is a phenomenal experience. You have to experience at least once in your life going to NAB, because there's like, what's this shiny toy. The biggest thing that I see right now in the industry to look for and to really like prepare for is this cloud-based workflow, which they say or whatever, it's going to change how editors turn over content and all that stuff. But I don't believe it, because at the end of the day, you still need those raw files in order to do some color correction. But what they don't tell you is that the compression file that you get back is an H.265 file. So it's still a compressed file.
Right. So you were shooting something simple, like a quick little promo type of thing, and you want to send it off to, say, a marketing team.
Right.
Then they could take that and make like a TikTok video or like something for social media real quick and fast.
Yes.
Like you said, because you get it like almost instantaneously. But if you're doing like an actual production or, a training video like we do, you're going to need those raw files. So,
Absolutely.
I mean, it's nice that is in the cloud. Maybe that could be like a backup. But that wouldn't be anything that we would even work with.
It has its ups and it has its downs. For a content creator, this is phenomenal.
Yeah.
For somebody that doesn't do any color correction and you bake your LUT on your camera, it's a no-brainer.
Right, like that would be almost like, say, like I always shoot RAW. I don't even do, because you could shoot RAW like in JPEG, but I just shoot RAW because I'm like, what do I need the JPEG for? Right.
There's not a lot of manipulation to the image if you don't have RAW,
Right. And then,
RAW,
then I save it, as a JPEG. But I mean, as far as, because you want to work with that RAW file.
Absolutely. The future is definitely cloud, but at the same token, I'm not fully invested in that. There's a couple things that I'm super excited about for that workflow because of content creation, because of social media, but I'm afraid that you got a client that doesn't understand those extra steps, that they're gonna be like, well, this is all cloud-based stuff, where's my commercial? Right after the shoot,
You're like, well, it doesn't really work like that.
Yes, absolutely not. There was a lot of ups and downs with this year's NAB because a lot of people were expecting new cameras, you know, and they were looking more for the boxy camera,
like old style.
They want to phase out. From what I'm understanding in the industry is that they want to phase out of the DSLR and more towards a modular camera, which I would love to have a modular camera. And the biggest reasons is because, you know, it has longevity to it.
Right. Well,
that's why Red has been so popular, because those were the original, well, in my opinion, that started the whole modular system.
Well, yeah, I was going to say, like, when you did ask me, like, what am I looking for as far as equipment, definitely as far as cameras go, like, I already have it picked out. I want to switch to mirrorless.
Yes.
Full frame.
Yes.
Because I just think that's, like, the way to go.
Absolutely. There has been cameras since this recording that has come out since NAB, because NAB has been since this recording it's been out for a while. I've just been debating on whether to do a show on this or not, and thank God we talked about it with this show. But the biggest thing with these cameras nowadays is compressing all that footage onto a full frame without having it burn out, because there's been a lot of history with, let's put it out there, the Canon R5 is an 8K camera, but is notorious for burning out within 15 minutes.
Yikes.
That's pointless to me, because say if I have a shoot that is on a live event, you know, obviously I probably want to shoot it at 8K, but why am I paying for a camera that I can't use?
Right.
You know?
Right. Like you should buy it if there's a purpose for it. But then you have people that run out and buy it 'cause, like, it's an 8K camera, and they go and they buy it, but then they don't use it.
Absolutely.
But they like to say that, oh, I have a camera, it shoots 8K.
And
like,
the biggest thing,
Why?
we've talked about this on the show, and I've also mentioned this from a previous YouTuber, Ty Turner, that it doesn't really matter whether you have a 2K, 4K, 8K, 12K camera. What matters is story. What matters is it valuable for the customer, and also, where is it going?
Yeah.
You know, are you going to have it on the big screen, or are you going to have it on the internet?
Right.
You know?
Exactly. Right. So if you are going to be on big screen, then okay, then you may want to see, like, you know, what you can get.
Right.
But I mean, as far as like the stuff that we do, 4K is more than enough.
Absolutely. Now, there is benefits to having those extra pixels. For me, I usually shoot 4K because I could scale it in post, so I could reframe the shot, do
Right.
numerous different shots.
Right.
Now with 8K, I could do that and down res to 4K.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
so I've seen this pattern throughout the years where the more resolution, we tend to fall back on the original resolution. For example, when 1080p first came out, we still had 720p, and we used to use 1080p to do the cropping to 720p.
Yeah.
So we're doing the same method now with 4K,
Right.
and down-resing it to 1080. So it's history repeating itself
Right.
time and time and time again.
Right.
So you just got to tell yourself, like, is it worth it?
Right. I mean, if you're gonna use it, if there's a reason why you need to have a 12K camera and pay 12K pricing, then go for it.
Absolutely.
You know, but I mean, for the most part, I think it's just gonna be a waste of money.
Right.
When you think about all the equipment you could get in replace of, say, one 12K camera.
Right.
You get a whole bunch of other stuff for that cost.
And the other good tip is the people that actually purchase the 8K cameras, guess what? They're selling their 4K cameras for like 20, 30, even 50% down the original price.
That's true.
Another trend that's happening now is shortage of cameras. Me personally, I've been looking forward to purchasing a new camera recently. I'm not going to name the brand because I'm not sponsored by them. but they are out of stock until 2023.
There's a lot of them too that are like discontinued now too.
Absolutely, and it's not only cameras, it's also tripods,
lighting,
simple things.
A lot of the strobes that I like that I've used, they're discontinued.
It is insane. And the effects of what happened during, we can't name it because YouTube will flag us. But the effects of that is still in effect till this day, and it's been over 2 years.
Yeah.
So when we come back, we're gonna elaborate on more gear coming soon.
Sherry Elisa Photography specializes in beautifully styled modern portrait photography, offering professional in-studio photography services to all of Southwest Florida. Push creativity to the next level. Create custom themes that will complement every personality and style. On-site professional hair and makeup is also available. Our studio is conveniently located off US 41 and Boy Scout Drive, next door to the Sam's Club Plaza. Book your spot now with SherryElisaPhotography.com.
And we are back, ladies and gentlemen, talking about NAB 2022. The next thing that I would love to talk about is LED technology, which is talking about specifically LED walls. And I've talked about this time and time again that green screen will be dying. If you're not down with that, we got 2 words for you. Move on. What you say? Because it's happening. LED, there's so many strengths and the craziness that is coming out of the LED technologies, especially with these 1x1 panels, is absolutely mind-blowing. Now, I personally have worked with LED walls. I haven't set them up, but I've been producing videos for LED walls. And the interesting part is that it's not necessarily spot on perfect. The closer the beads of light is, the more finer the background would be. Okay. So, for example, in The Mandalorian, this is the way. When they really pushed this technology, most of their LED walls were more like finite LED walls compared to, say, if you watch a wrestling program, they have nothing but LED walls. But if you notice, it has a mosaic look to the background. Yeah. So this not necessarily perfect. Yeah. But obviously the wider the diodes, the further you have to be in distance. Now the same applies with green screen, where you have to have 5 feet away from the green screen so that it doesn't spill on you. Yeah. Where this is kind of the opposite. But the closer you are to the LED wall, obviously, the more it's going to have that mosaic look to the camera. Now, based off of that, the biggest benefit that you'll have with LED walls is the natural light coming onto your subject. Right. So you don't have to worry about green screen spill. Yeah. So and it's been relevant in photography, it's been relevant in video, and also the third thing that I wanted to talk about is Unreal Engine. Have you heard of this? No. Unreal Engine is a software, a web-based software. It's a virtual, kind of like joystick or some type of sensor in front of the camera, where you could have the parallax effect while you're moving your camera. You slide your camera back and forth, and the background is moving. Well, it moves with the sensor. Right. Everywhere you go, whatever, you have different various shots.
Is that like the 3D camera?
Kind of, sort of.
Because I was just watching, I don't remember where I saw it. It was some movie that they just did. Mm-hmm. That they shot with it, because they were showing it, like, behind the scenes, that they shot with a 3D camera. It was really cool, though.
This is wild. So imagine having 2 LED walls on the side of your on the side of your subject, and putting a white block on that side of the LED wall. That could be your key light. Yeah. And you could have a fill light on the other side of the LED wall. Yeah. So it's nuts. And you could change the color of that LED wall and all that stuff. So the range is phenomenal.
Yeah.
The things that they're doing with this technology is absolutely insane. Also, what you didn't know is you could do a hybrid where you could mix green screen and LED at the same time.
Really?
Yes. Especially with Unreal Engine. You could actually still use the old method of doing the green screen tracking and import all that tracking information in Unreal Engine and still have that parallax effect.
That's pretty cool.
I've even seen it where they could live green screen key in the computer and have the virtual set and manipulate a virtual set, and they are in green screen, so you don't necessarily have to have an LED wall to do the same effect. The only thing is that green screen spill and all that stuff that you got to have control over.
Yeah.
The other most important thing is, ladies and gentlemen, I've always preached this, is pre-production. Because once you have that look, it's baked on forever, you know?
Right.
So you can't really escape. And that's probably one of the good benefits of having a green screen.
Right.
Because, you know, you can manipulate it a lot easier.
Yeah, and you could go back and change it.
Absolutely. But you still run into the problem of lighting the green screen for the environment.
Yeah.
Because that's how it's done, folks.
Right.
There's pros and cons to both. Definitely, if I had a choice on my own, and if they perfected the LED walls that have smaller diodes, definitely go LED.
Well, I just saw that they have portable ones.
One day, I promise you, there's going to be a day that you're gonna go in, and it's gonna have a flex fill type of style when you just pop up an LED wall and then you're done.
That's what it looked like. Because I was just looking. I looked it up.
So the future is bright per se. Now here's the catch to this. There were some things. The people that I've worked with, this AV company that set up the LED wall, they were telling me that there's certain colors that are going to be way too bright especially for an audience. Because usually they're using LED walls not only for production but also for live shows. So they've warned me that not to do white and not to do black. It has to be a little bit above the percentage of black and a little bit below the percentage of white, because you will go blind. You will blind the whole audience. That's what they warned me. So
you don't want to be responsible for that.
Yeah.
You make them sign a waiver.
Well, it makes me think that that's going to be the last thing that they saw. You're going to like it or not?
Like, go towards the light.
Yes. Go towards the lights. But yeah, I mean, like there is pros and cons to everything.
Yeah.
But back to my third thing was Unreal Engine. Well, Unreal Engine could help in the photography world. Imagine a world. You could have somebody in the middle of Pandora if you wanted to. No more buying props, barely.
Backdrops.
Backdrops. Yeah. You could do almost anything you want. But that's the power of Unreal Engine.
That's pretty cool.
And you know what's crazy? Some of the stuff is free. The little props that they have and all that stuff, they have it for free. It's nuts.
Just when you said for free. I had this mental picture of somebody trying to like DIY their own, and like they have like somebody standing up, like say a big TV screen, and trying to do like some kind of like headshots or something.
I can imagine. Do not try this at home.
Like,
hey, but that could be a good idea though. Maybe you could do the effect with a big, huge, like 80-inch TV.
Yeah.
And then maybe, you know, if you light it right, you could use Unreal Engine.
Yeah.
And then do that, and you don't have to worry about keying.
It's true.
You know? The tip of the day by Sherry. accident tip of the day by Sherry.
Like the low budget way to do this and try it out first.
Exactly.
You just tape a bunch of TVs together. You just stack like 4 of them.
Oh my God, that is hilarious. That
could work.
Hey, you never know.
Yeah. We'll have to have an update to the show. And we'll go to Best Buy and try it out.
You brought up a great point. Maybe that's something that I could experiment myself.
Yeah.
And get a little, 80-inch TV and start doing the parallax effect.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. That is pretty cool.
It's something fun to try.
Yes, absolutely. Anything that perked your interest in this year's NAB show? Absolutely not.
Right before this podcast, I'm like, hey, so what is NAB again? The answers to that question will be no.
There's absolutely nothing of value for Sherry.
Hey, I'm big into big photo conferences and stuff like that, but I honestly never heard of NAB before you brought it up.
You got to take a look at it and at least visit it. So let me go back and give you guys our 3 tips. Number 1, check out Unreal Engine 5, the release of the state of Unreal Engine 2022. It's a keynote presentation. Mm-hmm. Also, number 2, the Atomos Connect, what we talked about with Frame.io workflow demo at the NAB show. There's a link on the show notes. And also number 3 is something that I didn't really talk about on this show, but I was also talking about media transfer. SanDisk Professional Pro Blade, they have a modular system to where, you could have SD cards, compact flash cards. The industry is going to where give me anything and I will convert it,
Yeah.
And a lot of people have a problem of, well, I don't have that particular thing to transfer this footage, and give me your camera and I'll plug it into my computer and transfer it that way. No, we have modular systems. Going back to the modular system, where you have these slide-in readers, card readers that have this big huge unit, almost looks like a giant NAS network. And you just plug in your card. So
Dave is so excited when he's talking about this stuff.
I know. So what is the point of this show?
I don't know, Dave. What is the point?
The point is you don't have to go out and buy everything now. Make sure you do your research.
And hey, why shoot at 12K? 720 is perfectly fine.
Wise words by Sherry. And that concludes our special BTS Raw Chat, episode 23.